Konnichiwa.
Konnichiwa.
It's Jack.
Hello there.
Now I've got freaking Space Oddity in my head.
Oh, so you can't play the song that you prepared?
No, I got it. Roll up for the Ramble-cast. Roll up, you got an invitation. Roll up for the Ramble-cast. Roll up, so make a reservation. Roll up for the Ramble-cast. The Ramble-cast after dark is coming to take you away. Coming to take you away. Take you today.
Take you today.
Whoa, 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 whoa. That probably sounded weird on the ukulele, but
so Jack is the walrus tonight.
I am the walrus. And it's funny, I said, I didn't realize, well, my wife realized, I said, remember I said, maybe I'll join you live from Japan. Yeah. We didn't leave till the next day.
Oh.
She goes, why would you say that? And I go, oh, because I don't know what time it's going to be in Japan. Maybe I'll just pop in. She goes, we don't leave till Friday. I go, I'm so fucked up. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what.
So you just took the week off. You're like, fuck.
Well, I had to get up early.
Okay.
So I said I can't be up till 11 or 12 o'clock. And
sure.
Did you have to go Raleigh to L.A. or San Francisco?
Went to Raleigh to Dallas.
To Dallas.
Dallas to Tokyo, which was 13 and a half hours.
Yikes.
Nonstop there, and 3 hours to Dallas from Raleigh. So 16 and a half hours.
Sleeper pods?
I did not. No, I was a little. We sat back in the poor people section.
Oh yeah,
and it's funny because they let you pass through the next level. It's not even first class; it's the next level. And I said, I go,
oh yeah, business class, or
there's
premium economy
because you can lay down. It's premium economy. You can lay down and stuff. I go, there's screens that they have. Their monitors to watch their shows and stuff is larger than the space is for my seat.
Yeah,
just saying. And not that I'm bitter, not because if I could afford it, I'd be sitting there. But yeah, it was.
How was a 13-hour flight though? I just got it.
Well, the worst part was there was a group of middle school kids.
Oh, geez.
28 to 30 of them, and they're just running around. They're blocking your seat. One tripped me, and I swear I was going to punch him in the face. Because you get up to the bathroom, and they're just there's crap everywhere. I go, where are their chaperones? Oh, they're sleeping. We're having to take care of them. And there was a picture.
Chris, your camera's on, but it's facing your keyboard.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying.
He's working on it. He's
so that was because I couldn't sleep. And
by the way, the headline of like old man punching some kids on a flight that gets turned around. I gotta say, with the rest of us here, would not be surprised if it was you, Jack.
Yeah, but to be fair, I was going to make it look like I tripped.
It was a dog
because I was. Oh, I'm sorry. Boom! Oh, your face broke my fall. Thank you.
He saw the D. He saw the D on the hat, thinking it was a Dodger fan, but it was really a Tokyo Dragons fan. And,
or it could have been a Duke. Could have been a Duke Blue Devil fan, or a Dallas fan because of the D. I mean, right here I'm wearing my my hat. Make Japan great again.
That's what it looks like. So, yeah.
So.
I like how people really have to give a double take on you wearing a red hat in the South.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Because it says Tokyo.
Is that what it says?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that says Tokyo.
I don't. I purposely picked the red hat.
You seriously don't know what it said? You just bought it because
I bought it. I thought like the way it looked.
That's okay. It's cool.
It says Japan right here.
Right. I'm almost. I mean, I'm rusty on my.
I can get on my phone and because I still have my.
Like an auto. That's cool.
Well, I've yeah, but I'm pretty sure that's Anyway, go
ahead.
But
yeah, it was a long flight. I slept for like 40 minutes, and then the boys who were the Gladfelder boys who were, I'll be honest with you, flying wise, they were really good both ways, considering how long it was. But they started bickering with each other, and they woke me up, and I went. I couldn't go back to sleep. So it was.
And those were two kids that you could punch.
Yeah, and I could have probably got maybe I did. I don't know. But the funny thing on the plane that was whatever reason the flight attendant, I was joking with the flight attendant. She was older.
Never joke with flight attendants. They will pull that plane over.
Whatever reason, flight attendants like me. I don't know what it is. I'm
Okay.
charming. I guess.
You
I know
got
people
the
are listening to
touch.
this podcast going, "He's charming." But anyway, so the drinks come around. I said, "Hey, can I get a rum and coke?" She goes, "Here." You know what? Sure. She goes, and we're not charging you. We don't charge on this one. Here, have a second one. You can have two. I said, well, thank you.
Yeah, well, you're around middle schoolers.
Yeah. Jay, they gave one to.
Yeah, well, he looks like that. Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure they said, beggars can't be choosers. Just take what we give you. And then Colleen says she got a Jack Daniels. She goes, can I get two? She goes, no. And she walked away. Wow. Now, Colleen was upset there was no internet. I don't know if that had something to do with it, because she was going to do some work. And there was no internet.
That shit's expensive, though, those international flights.
It's like, it's ridiculous. Well, even domestic, it's like $19 an hour.
Right.
I go, for crappy internet service?
But most of the time, it's just enough to check your email and just do your phone, like your Instagram, but that's about it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you got T-Mobile, it's free.
Yeah.
Depending on the airline. Yeah, I think.
We're getting on the plane to Dallas, and from Dallas to Tokyo, and you have to show your passport all the time, but they didn't say anything. And at the last second, someone said, "Oh, you got to show your." I go, "All right," so I got it out, and I guess I had my finger over the number or something like that. And the lady, it was a language
like a gun.
Yeah, like a gun.
Okay. And
she yelled at me. She goes, "Next time, have your don't cover the thing." I said, "Well, next time have internet." So I was making points there, but yeah, the flight sucked. I mean, I know, Nick, you've flown quite a lot, some long flights, and that was the worst part. That was the one part I said, I don't think I want to do again. But like I said, maybe go to like Alaska first, and then stay there a couple of days, and then head over to Japan.
In my experience, the more you do it, the more comfortable you are with it. Because, like I said, my last big flight was last.
That's what they always say.
True. Yeah.
You become an expert.
Babe, listen.
Well, I mean,
they say the more you do it.
Yeah.
Last one was Denver to Tokyo, and then Tokyo to Kuala Lumpur, and that was like 12 hours and 8 hours. Yeah. And then my flight I've got coming up here in a couple weeks to Milan is Denver to Frankfurt, and then Frankfurt to Milan, and that's 10 hours, I think, which is not that bad. But
I don't know how the flight attendants do it. I don't know how the pilot. I mean,
they get paid.
Well, I get it. I know they're getting paid, but it's the same flight. I mean, it's just like they're probably on the same run. And I go. I hope the pilots aren't getting bored up there, because
they do. Oh. I mean, imagine being a puddle jumper. Like, it's your first 2-3 years of being a pilot, and you literally are just flying from Raleigh to Atlanta or Raleigh to Tallahassee every day. You're like, fuck this shit.
Yeah.
And I want to know more about Jack's Japan travels, but related to this though, I recently caught a show called The Rehearsal. They just started season 2. You may have seen an image if you have Max or HBO Max. It's got a picture of this guy Nathan who does the show. He hosts the show, but the first episode of season 2 has to deal with pilots and co-pilots and how they don't really talk that much, and that most air traffic disasters are caused because the co-pilot doesn't speak up and take actual control of, because they have control of they have dual controls, and they kind of go through multiple air traffic,
like they don't like each
disasters.
Other. Is that what
no, it's more of the fact that the co-pilot doesn't. Like the co-pilot might even be pointing out stuff to the pilot, but the pilot is just like, nope, I got this. Nope,
you shouldn't have that fourth drink. I'm just saying.
And so the guy is just kind of pointing out that the co-pilot needs to actually take control at this point and actually like steer, but they don't speak up, or they're already speaking up, maybe pointing out.
They stay in their lane, like they're not trying to.
Yeah, they're just kind of like
don't want to cross the line.
Intimidated. Yeah, intimidated not to cross that line. So it's a fascinating topic, and I think it's going to be
So it's a
main
real, so it's a
point
real
of-
show. It's not a comedy or anything like that.
It's
Like a
it's
reality show?
I know I've seen that.
It's a weird blend of reality, comedy, and documentary. It's
Okay.
it's an odd blend. If you watch the first season, you could just watch episode 1 and skip to episode 2, because I think that the topic in episode 2 is with dealing with air travel is really fascinating. The main topic of season 1, there's like a larger kind of focus of season 1, but the first episode, which really feels kind of like the pilot, you could just watch that and get an idea of what kind of show it is. Weird and bizarre. I'm surprised Treast isn't on the chat chiming, because this seems like something that would be up his alley that he's seen. But it's called The Rehearsal. So anyway, dealing with pilots and co-pilots and that aspect.
That's
back
weird.
to you, Jack.
That does make sense that the co-pilot is probably has
because usually they are like they're just and they oftentimes they're not flying together. They meet for the first time in the cockpit, and typically they don't have they don't have.
There he goes.
I know of it, but haven't seen it. Okay, well, there it is.
And that doesn't count,
Thanks.
Matt. I'm
Thanks for
sorry,
joining.
Matt Treese. That doesn't count.
What's interesting to me, just speaking of pilots and like flight attendants and all that, is my sister-in-law, long time ago, over 20 years ago, was a flight attendant. I can't remember which airline for, but she told me this, as well as I remember reading about it years later too, is that, flight attendants actually make more money than pilots starting. Because pilots, they might start out making like roughly the same amount of money, but the amount of debt that a pilot is in,
Right.
Okay, that makes
they're
sense.
so poor. And so like a flight, it's better depending on
like flight school and shit.
Yeah, flight school, keep maintaining your
Yeah,
hours,
exactly.
your education, all these things.
Well, that's why you got to go to the military. Because
Yeah, that's why a lot of commercial pilots are former military pilots.
Mhm.
that's why they're always dropping bombs on cities because they
And that's why you don't take over the controls of another person. You're like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm
My
not gonna
buddy
Like,
Jeff,
just stay in my lane.
he's my friend who lives out in San Diego. His brother-in-law, I used to be one of like 4 people in the world, I think, that was a flight instructor for the like second or third largest plane in the world. It's like the globe,
Spruce Goose.
the Globe Master or something. I don't know what it's called, but he was flying like
Globe
tanks and
Master.
shit back and forth to the Middle
related-
East.
Is that related to the Thigh Master?
Probably. And now he's I think he flies for Delta.
Delta.
Yeah.
We got a pilot that listens to us. So
Yeah, we do.
I
Dave.
don't want to give out. Yeah, I didn't want to give out his name in case.
Oh, sorry, Dave.
In case,
My bad.
in case he was embarrassed that he listened to us. That was my.
But yeah, so he's got the sweet hookup though. So he actually, after like a certain amount of years, I think you get to have like the family buddy pass.
Oh,
So
yeah.
my buddy Jeff can fly anywhere in the world for free.
nice.
Cool.
But he has to like go and sit standby essentially.
Oh,
So they
standby.
put him in like in an extra seat. So
Oh, yeah.
like we're going to Vegas in a couple of weeks actually, and like he's just going to go to the airport and like get on one of the flights that are flying out to Vegas, and we're
From
going
San
we're
Diego?
flying. Yeah, from San Diego.
That's
and
a
then-
50-minute flight. So that's not.
Yeah, it's nothing. And then we're going out to
Those were the best.
we're going out to Denver in August for Red Rocks, and he's doing the same thing. Like he doesn't even have to book his flight; he just goes to the airport and hops on a plane that has a
That's
seat
pretty
available.
cool.
Yeah,
With Delta or
Dick.
Southwest?
Delta.
Delta. Okay. So now Southwest is I think that's the biggest one that goes from San Diego to Vegas. It's like every 20 minutes there's a flight
Yeah,
Wow.
going.
and
It used to be, I don't know, something like that.
and for the first time ever, I actually bought a first class ticket. I'm gonna upgrade my seat to
Whoa.
first class going out to Colorado in August. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it, whatever.
I've sat
But your wife-
first class like
But your
4
wife is a
times.
coach.
No, she's not going.
Oh, she's not going.
Even better, she's not going.
Talk about first class. No, I love my wife dearly.
Yeah, we know, but-
To be fair, I actually looked first. When I made the upgrade, because I have 2 flights booked, one for Vegas in a couple of weeks and one for Denver in August. And I did first look at our flight to Vegas to see if we could upgrade those seats, but it was like a $900 upgrade fee. And I was like, need a fucking
sorry, honey, I love
dicks.
you, but you're just not worth it.
I mean,
Yeah,
first class domestic is usually not worth it unless the company or something is paying for it. Like
I don't know.
Me, I'm United's the Denver hub, and I'm premium economy, which is really you get like 2 inches more space. That's about it. But it's
worth it.
It's worth it, yeah. And so I like it, and I like having that I can choose basically any seat I want, within the app and just go.
See, I just plan on I'm going to get pissed on my way out there. It's going to be great. I can't wait.
Yeah, I one time sitting in first class, and it was like, okay, this is no different than flying. It was like they didn't give you anything. It was like, but the other
you get fed.
Not on this flight we did. It was first class, but it was like basically we got first class because we didn't have a long layover.
Where'd you fly to and from?
It was from Raleigh to somewhere short.
Oh, okay.
Like I said, it didn't cost much to move up because we at the time we had a United card, so we got points and stuff like that.
Yeah,
but the best one I ever had. Well, first time we ever flew first class, we were just dating and we were going to Hawaii. We got bumped.
Nice.
And they said, okay, we can move you to first class. And I said, sure. And on the way up there,
back in the 80s, that also meant Coke.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, it was 87. It's a long flight to Hawaii. And we got Sundays, we got steak. They gave us caviar. And I was like Tom Hanks and Big. This is gross. But like free drinks and all that different stuff. And then on the way back, we had to fly coach. And it's like they gave us TV dinners. Then they gave us a mint. I'm sorry, I'm full from the TV dinner. I can't eat this mint. It's a little tiny mint. But what I think the last time I threw out my back in San Diego when my back just gave out. I could barely walk. So Cindy bumped me to first class, and I had like 7 drinks.
Nice.
Because I could barely walk. First class is the way to go. If you can afford it.
If you can afford it.
It's the way to go.
I fly once, maybe a year, maybe twice if I'm lucky. And I've never bought a first class ticket before. I did get bumped to first class once, but it was one of those shitty first class sections like you just mentioned. And it was, because it was like a blizzard. And I was one of the only assholes that actually went to the airport that day.
We're hoping you wouldn't show up.
It's like we need to put your weight in the front of the plane. So just why don't you come up here?
Just don't punch that old guy next to you.
Hey, speaking of weight, I was gonna say, like, in the last year or so, I fucking put on some pounds, dude. Like,
well, we didn't want to say anything.
But thanks, appreciate it.
You have a wide screen. So.
Yeah, right. So I'm actually at the highest, the highest point that I've been in a long time. So through work, I went. What's that?
Nothing to go but down.
We're sorry, you can't have any carry-on luggage because your weight.
Yeah. So I've gone through. I've gone
These
through
guys
this.
Busted your balls. I was trying to figure out.
Whatever. Fuck it. At least I have hair. So I went through this process at work through this program that they offer for like a. Fruit. Hey man.
Wow. It's a low blow.
You gotta throw them. I'll throw them right back. So I went through this program at work that they offer for like this, weight loss stuff, and
constantly attacking the old guys.
I lost like 10, 12 pounds, just doing, whatever stuff. But one of the things that this program does is it provides access.
You took a nice dump.
Yeah, right before the show. That's why I was late. Sorry.
We get it.
One of the things this program does is it gives you access to medication. So I just started last night my first dose of Zepbound, which is a GLP-1. No one here's heard of that.
I've never heard of it.
You probably have heard of.
To be fair, I'm not overweight.
Yeah.
You gotta watch that Beaties.
Have you heard of Ozempic?
Oh. Yes.
It's in that
Okay.
family of stuff, right?
The shot in the stomach or something like that.
Yeah. So join a challenge, she says. Yes. But the so I started doing it last night. So I've been doing a lot of research over the last few months about it because, fuck it, I'll take whatever help I can get. Once you hit 40, it's like the shit just doesn't fucking work the same way. So it's like I used to be able to drop 20 pounds.
Guys, Chris, it's okay.
Yeah,
Well, you have to work. You have to work out. The older you get, you have to work out more to burn the calories.
Right.
Of course.
Yeah.
I haven't changed my style of eating at all.
Oh.
I'm saying in over the last 10 years or so. It's like I've done nothing different. It's just that, being a 44-year-old man.
Less active but I tell you this much: when I first got diagnosed with DA, I've lost 16 pounds.
Yeah,
because I changed my eating. I'm not drinking as much soda. I'm not eating the stuff that I should be eating, and I'm down to. I was at 189. I'm at 180. It's 172.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Yeah. So but this medication does a number of things. So I've had blood pressure. I've been taking medication for blood pressure for about a year and a half, 2 years now, and as you know, my mom is diagnosed with dementia and whatnot too. So what's interesting is that this drug is actually linked to significantly reduced blood pressure issues, and it also has some affiliation with reducing the risk of Alzheimer's and dementia.
Oh, that's pretty
well.
That's good. I thought you were going to say the opposite.
No. It seems like it's one of those miracle drugs, right? But who knows? I'll throw a fucking third leg.
That's what I'm worried about.
Cindy years ago, and it's funny. You look at the picture. She wasn't heavy, and she did what was that thing called? It was the big deal back in the
Atkins
90s.
diet.
No, it wasn't a diet. It was a pill. It was a thing, and it ended up causing problems for people, like heart problems and stuff.
Oh yeah, the what's her name? The blonde woman who married the rich dude.
Christy Brinkley.
No, you're gonna have to narrow it down.
No, exactly.
And Nicole Smith. Yeah, she was on one of those weight loss pills. Yeah, this is different though. This doesn't work.
No, that was back in the 90s where it was the fad thing. She lost a lot of weight, but she didn't really need to lose. She looks at pictures.
Probably almost had a heart attack too.
And she goes, "Here, I thought it was heavy." And what was it called? I'm surprised Matt Treese doesn't know.
But why you think of it? This stuff. The way this stuff works is it actually changes, chemically. What it does is
not that Matt Treese needed. I'm sorry, I just said he knows everything. That's it
changes how your digestion.
Everyone, a viewer.
It's just how cold
I'm
and
listening,
matter of fact
Chris.
you were
It's
about
just
it.
that we got low frame
Trim spa.
No, that's not it, Matt.
That's Anna Nicole Smith with Trim Spa.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Okay, well.
Anywho, the way this shit works is that it actually, the chemicals actually change the way your body handles digestion. So it actually keeps your stomach. Your stomach keeps its contents longer than it normally does, slowing down your digestion.
3 weeks.
So with that in turn,
but you'll never grow toenails again.
Jesus fuck. In turn, what that does is it keeps you from getting hungry, more often throughout the day.
Oh, okay.
And it also changes the way your body stores fat and how all that stuff works too. So everybody who's been on
irreversible shrinkage though.
Yeah, whatever. Don't fucking use it anyway.
I was taking medication.
You try to teach us something, and this is what we do, Chris.
Yeah, it's to be expected. So my goal is to lose about 40 to 50 pounds.
Really?
With this medication.
Wow.
Yeah.
Didn't realize you were that heavy.
Yeah, I hide it well.
I was gonna say you carry it well.
I mean, what's your goal number? Like 170, 180?
No, I want to get to 200. That's my goal.
Damn,
to be fair, you got a big.
Yeah, I'm 255.
I was thinking like 225, 230 at most.
Oh yeah, thanks. No, appreciate it. Yeah,
I was gonna say 195. But
yeah, see, you don't look. You look fine. Yeah.
Well, to be fair, your melon weighs about 25.
Yeah, it's huge. I got a big ass dome.
It's just head. Yeah.
You don't want to.
You don't.
It's like when Jay first started dating Colleen or was attracted to her, he lost a lot of weight.
That's right. He did. Yeah, he went through
I
his.
said, look, you look like a Q-tip. You got that big melon, and you got to put on some weight. You look sickly. It's just you're walking around with this big, you look like a sucker, little stick and the big thing.
Damn.
Yeah.
I hate to hear what you talk about me behind my back.
So I mean, I'm at six.
I
I'm
say it
6
right to
feet.
your face.
I'm 6 feet tall, and I'm
appreciate it.
right now I weigh in at 255.5 pounds, which is like preposterous to me. Like
half.
I couldn't fucking believe it when
I just don't want to lose my
goddamn-
boobs. I got some good boobs going on here.
Right? Hey, if you got them, show them, flaunt 'em.
Fin, thank you, Sherry. Thank you,
Fin
Sherry.
Fin. Yeah, I remember
Fin
that.
Fin, yes,
Yeah.
it was Fin Fin, and
That's a comic book supervillain.
and she, she has some art. It's funny, she has some issues now, and it's probably because of the Fin Fin. But she didn't need to lose. I mean, she doesn't. Even though she was as a child, not a child or a young adult, she was a skater. She was in this show, Ice Capade shows. She skated. She just doesn't like to work out. She just doesn't.
I don't either.
Nobody.
And that
does.
was one thing going back to Japan that they tell you, and they were telling her on TikTok, get yourself in shape, walk before you go, because
Did you?
there's a lot of walking.
Yeah. There's a lot of walking. Okay.
A lot of walking.
Because in the summer months, spring and summer months, I'm on my bike a lot, right? But just when you're when New England winters, it's just fucking brutal. It's
Sure.
awful.
Yeah, the winters here.
Yeah, the wintertime.
And like the last thing you want to do is be outside. But now that it's getting nice out, it's like okay.
For me, it's the summers here. It's so hot and humid.
So my wife and I, we walk in the mornings, and that's like a great time.
Thing.
It's like, yeah, it's our thing, and so we'll get up to usually we're around 4 to 5 miles.
Nice.
I'd say a day.
That's pretty good.
So yeah, I mean, not every morning. There's some mornings where it's like we need a rest or we need an off day or something like that.
Yeah.
But we went for a hike today, and hiking is definitely different terrain, so the miles go a lot slower. She's got a smartwatch, so it'll kind of clock in.
It's more fun,
different.
It's like you're not sitting there monotonously just walking
Yeah.
in a straight line.
We have
a
a lot of city trails in our town, in our little small town. So they take you kind of through the park, and so there's a lot of greenway trails in our city as it is. So that's nice because you're not just on the street, because sometimes street noise is just kind of this is loud, or it's just
You got
it doesn't
exhaust
feel like you're
and all that shit. And it's like,
yeah, then people are like, "Brr, brr, eat it, hippie,"
Right.
Just kind of okay.
You do look like a hippie.
Sure.
Got that long hair. You get, you're carrying around a little. And
I actually got a haircut, so it's
Which one?
It's trimmer than last year. The ones up on top.
your hair looks the same. Your hair looks the same all the time.
Thank you. Thanks, Jack.
It's like either you're getting haircuts all the time. Like my dad used to get haircuts all the time. My hair, I go, whatever, Dad.
That's so true.
I didn't have any hair at that point, so it's
I think it's about 7.
It's definitely like a boomer.
7 weeks is my 6.
Every boomer
6,
I've
7
ever
weeks.
known. They get their haircut every 4 days. You're like,
yeah.
what the hell, man?
I think that's
So did you prep? Did you prep with the walking before you left?
We
or
did
were you
not.
just
I used to
"Oh."
for the
Okay.
last for a month going into it. I bugged her every day.
You're like, oh, okay.
I go, we should really be walking. She goes, we'll do it tomorrow. We'll do it. And to be fair, I'm staring at a treadmill. It's like 4 feet away from me. And this thing, it's funny because I used to, when I was reffing and I was getting older, to keep up with the younger players, I would literally, I put a TV in the garage, and I got the Apple and stuff, and I watched all of the Shield every day. I'd watch an episode of the Shield, and I'd just be on that.
You gotta have a workout show.
And I would just boom, 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 show after show after show. And Cindy goes, I would use it if we brought the treadmill upstairs. And that's not how she talks, but so me and my son-in-law carry this damn thing upstairs.
Oh no!
It's moved from our master bedroom to my daughter's old bedroom to my other daughter's old bedroom, and now it's been in where I record. And this thing has never been used since.
She's just holds your laundry.
Oh yeah, exactly.
It's holding some stuff. Yeah, it's got some crap on it.
We have a fold-up exercise bike kind of thing, and that it's collapsible or what have you, and that but it only goes so but same thing though. It's like you got to have a show. it's more kind of like if it's been
Yeah.
rainy or if it's cold. We'll
I
break
also
that
had
out.
I also had a reason to
Um,
do it because I
Sure.
literally had to do it because I was getting older and these kids are getting fat. I was doing
Oh.
college games and I was like going, all right, I got to keep up because I'm getting in their way. And so I was in pretty good shape, but again, I could have at any point got that treadmill out and exercise, and I didn't do it. And then I have a walking stick because my right leg goes numb after a while, and I'm like dragging it.
Mm.
And guess what? I forgot to pack the walking stick. I go, I'll just buy
an
one
umbrella?
in Japan.
Yeah.
No, I couldn't find one. Could not find. I did.
Really?
I did threaten to
Yeah.
take the old person's stick. I said, I could probably take her stick, and she couldn't keep up with me. But they probably got some roll.
I'm just imagining you trying to like even ask for it. What
She knows how to use
What
that
was your-
stick, though. She do,
what
He's
was your
asking for the
experience with-
stick.
right.
Yeah.
Give him the
Like, was there
stick.
something lost in
I said,
translation?
no, she probably has a samurai in it. Wah!
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I almost bought one. It was samurai
time.
was 150,000 yen. I said, Anyway,
Hmm.
I know.
So
what is that?
It's
how?
what?
Yeah.
How much is that?
Yeah.
It's like
More than
150,000 yen is like
$150,000.
probably about
1,000 yen is not that much.
1,000 yen is 650.
Oh,
So
they changed their.
Oh, okay.
figured out from there. I did have an interesting. We're the first.
How is?
Go
yeah.
ahead. Go ahead, Matt.
I was just wondering, like, how was the language, barrier for you?
It was
going into.
tough at times. I mean, I did learn
Yeah.
a few words. I love saying
Konnichiwa.
thank you. Konnichiwa.
Oh.
And I also like to say arigato. Thank you. I just like to say that all the time. Arigato. And the one time I said konnichiwa when I was supposed to say arigato, and they looked at me. I go, "Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I knew
We
you
already
were.
said hello."
I
we've
knew
already
you
said
were
it.
wrong, but like,
We already said because they're looking at me like I go. I'm sorry. We already said hello. Arigato. But we had the Google Translate.
yeah, you're thinking 100,000 yen, not 1,000 yen.
No, it was 150,000 yen.
150,000. Okay,
I'm saying,
I heard 1,000.
1,000 yen. I knew was $650.
$1,050. Is that what it would cost?
So the first day
Oh,
we're out
well,
there. and
You got that. I mean, geez.
$650. So the first day we land and we land about fun. By the time we got to the hotel, we took an Uber. It was like $100 for the Uber. Really clean cars though. I mean, they're electric, gas type things, and they're Lexus, and they must be the same company because they all have the same. It was Lexus, and they had their white gloves on and stuff like that. But it was. I said, look, I'm not battling the train with all this luggage and stuff like that. But we got to the hotel. We ate something at the hotel and kind of rested. The next day, we're supposed to do like 2 to 3 hours tops. I said, okay, because we're going to Disneyland on Monday. Let's take it. Of course, we didn't. We were out there for like 6-7 hours and walking everywhere and all this crap. So Cindy stops at this vendor. We're in this. And Colleen was looking for her. What's this thing she looks for?
Geocache?
Geocache. She's looking for geocache. And I did a live with her geocache. I go, Colleen, I hate to tell you this. I'm actually losing listeners. I mean, I'm losing. This live is dying because your geocache is not exciting. But we'll go to the end. So Cindy sees this vendor selling some on a skewer. There's like 4 pieces of meat and a pineapple. And she goes, I'm going to get this. I said, okay. And so I go, okay. She goes, you want one? I go, sure, I'll take one. Then Zach comes up and goes, Gigi, I want one. So she orders 3 of them. I mean, I was going to put a picture up. I forgot. It's like little bite-sized pieces of meat on this skewer and the pineapple. I think it was 4 or 5 pieces of meat. It was really good, but she goes, oh, I'm so sorry. She goes, what? She goes, it was $61. I go,
Oh shit.
I go, for 3 of them? I go, wow. I go, that's kind of a ripoff. She goes, no, each. It was $193 American. It was 8,000 yen.
What kind of meat was it? Kobe beef?
It was. I don't know what it was. It was good. It wasn't rat meat, Jerry.
It was human.
That's what I thought, Sherry. I thought he was gonna say rat for sure. Yeah.
What?
I go. That's a fuck. I go. $193. It should be like I should be full after this. I go. This is just like this isn't even an appetizer.
$193. You should be empty after
I know,
that. If you know
exactly.
what I'm talking about.
And it was a street vendor, and she felt so bad. I go, look, hey, you spent all of our budget on the first day.
You got fucked. Okay. That cannot be the real price.
I
that
accidentally bought.
Well, you know what? I walked over afterwards because in Japan you can't find trash cans.
Oh,
they don't have trash cans and I found out why. It's because in '95 they had a terrorist attack where they put gas in the trash cans, and so you literally cannot find a trash can anywhere. You can't find it. So I'm walking around going, "What the fuck are the trash cans?" And so he goes, "I told you the trash
just hold on to your shit."
So I went back to the place. I go, "Oh, there it says right there, 8,000." I go, for $193, you can throw away my trash. But I'm like going, oh my God, that was ridiculous. 100. And Jay goes, he went and got some meat that was supposed to. He goes, this is better meat. I said better meat, and it was less. I go, I didn't order it. I just ate it. Did you come with a little pineapple?
Because Jack, I got better meat.
Just imagine that it was like 100.
And I didn't wait as long, and then it was cheaper. I go, whatever, dickhead. I don't care. So, but their fruit, I'll be honest.
Is that the judging image that we got? Like Jay texted the group a picture of you.
Oh, the picture.
Judging.
I said judging, but yeah.
Judging.
Oh,
was there a picture of
judging?
The picture you were sitting behind Cindy on the plane, and all you could see was your eyes up. I said, it's like Jack's look of judgment.
Oh, I remember that. I don't know what I was doing there. I said, no, I'm being JP.
Ah.
JP always does the pictures where he just shows it. I mean, anyway. Yeah, that was me just being, I look like Darth. I do look like Darth Vader. I just noticed that. It's like, oh my God, Luke, I'm sorry, I was such a dick as a father.
Darth Vader.
But yeah.
Oh my God, dude, that's hysterical.
Exactly. I did notice that until now. Wow.
Yes.
But yeah, that was a culture shock. I'm like going, holy fuck! And then they were getting strawberries with the it's like a sugar glaze on it, and those were pretty expensive. Jay was, but
they
again,
$3,000.
The fruit there is amazing. It tastes so much better than American fruit. Huh. I was going to say, I go, I said at the time, I said, RFK, the guy's an idiot. He says stupid. He says the dumbest fucking things, but he's 100%. He's 100% right about the food and what we put into our.
He's
food.
not right. Oh. Everyone's thought that. There's no doubt about that.
He's right about getting it out of the. I'm trying to get
artificial shit out.
Yeah. Sure. I
wouldn't raise that piece of shit on that platform. I would just go with your platform.
But I'm saying
not bring him into the conversation.
I'm trying to be nice about this, but the people in Japan look healthier.
They are healthier.
They are healthier because it's not. And I test my blood every day, and I was eating a lot of rice, which you're not supposed to eat, a lot of bread, and a lot of different stuff that I'm not supposed to eat. And my blood sugar level was better than here.
Yeah, I believe
watching everything I'm eating because the stuff in the food, there's not that crap in the food.
Right.
We need to get that crap out of the food. Is what I'm trying to say.
Their portions are smaller.
Your Tokyo MAGA health hat.
You're walking.
Exactly. And great. Again, I don't support the guy. What he said recently was just the stupidest thing. I go,
sure.
Dude, just stick to the fucking food. Just shut up. But it is what it is. But I was looking at every time we got on a train, we got a subway. I looked around. I go, man, you just don't see it. You don't see people that look unhealthy. And like I said, I was literally overweight a few months ago, and it wasn't until I had to change my diet but again, I was eating I haven't eaten sugar stuff, and I was eating apple turnovers there and other stuff, and it didn't affect my blood sugar. My blood sugar didn't go. It was better than here, where I'm like, okay, I can't eat that. I can't eat that. I can't eat that. Because I've been pretty good since I got diagnosed. And it's just like, I go, we got to do something about our food.
Did you, while you were over there, did you happen to have any commercial breaks?
I did not.
Okay. Should probably take one.
Even though it's probably not where it happens.
ever.
Well, then, yeah, I guess there's the answer about why your fucking meat stick costs you $60. Because if you want to have food like that, that's going to be healthful,
No,
without all this shit,
no.
it's going to cost
Damn.
$1 million.
Cindy just, I go, what are these vendors doing? Are they millionaires? Fuck.
Okay.
Do they have a sign up that said 100 suckers served? I mean, what? I go, this is. I go. She was, well, I just at the time. She goes, I didn't pay attention because then after that she got a app that told her how much yen was into the dollar. I said, I go. Look, don't worry about it. It was good. I go, sure, I'm still hungry, but I go, it's like a meal.
Did you give me another hot dog?
Yeah, exactly. It's like going to a ball game and paying like $40 for a hot dog. I said, I go, this is not even a restaurant. It's a street vendor, and he's just cooking this meat on the fryer. I go, but it is what it is. Like I said, Jay was bragging about his meat, which is not something Colleen does. So
she doesn't brag on Jay's meat. Yeah,
exactly. So
I'm just saying. I already named the episode. Just saying.
Jay's meat.
No, it's Japanese meat stick. 100,000 sold or served.
Yeah, but again, I had sushi for the first time ever.
Really?
And liked it.
Nice.
Now, did you get a roll or did you get sashimi or whatever?
I got 6 tuna rolls wrapped with. I
can't believe I don't know how you were born and raised in California. You've never had a California roll.
Because I grew up in an era where
it is surprising to me that you've never had sushi before.
California,
I grew up in an era. It wasn't popular when I was younger. It wasn't. It was a fad that started in the 90s and 2000s, and I was like, I go, ugh, I'm not eating raw fish.
Yeah, get you a good California roll. You'll like it.
It was really good, and I learned to use chopsticks. I even used breadsticks. It was these 2 long breadsticks, and I was able to goof around and use that. But it was a great experience. The people there are really nice. If you get lost, which we did a couple times, I be honest with you, I was going by the fact we had someone who grew up in New York. And I don't want to mention names, and who was raised in New York and Long Island, who'd been on several subways. And that first day was a fucking nightmare. We couldn't figure out one way or the other. Sure. And I'll be honest with you, you need an IC card, which is it's just another way it goes on your phone and you can do this thing. The problem is if it reads it wrong, you say, fuck it, I got 50,000 people behind me. I don't have time. Right. And it always seemed to be, it would read mine wrong when there was no charge. It was just going through. Once you go through without it being clear, it comes up red every time. So you have to go to this window and go, hey, it's not working. They go, what? And I go, I go, you didn't pay. I go, I paid. I go, it's not. So they finally put it on their phone. They cleared up whatever you owe, they pay. And so that was kind of a pain in the ass. But once we figured it out.
So then you bought the hat and they realized you were one of them.
Exactly. I walked around the hat. They go, yeah. And journalism, so it's like, but it's a great place. Like I said, we got lost a couple times, and what's funny, this one guy, we stopped him, and he goes, "I'm not from here." He's like, I don't know where he is. I think he might have been from Korea. I'm lost too, and so he goes, I'm sorry. So because the subways were kind of complicated, and
it's like racist much.
Yeah, probably. We're American. Sorry, I had to put my white sheet away.
Do I look Canadian? Anyway,
do I look like I'm from the South? Anyway, so what was I gonna say? Oh, I fucking lost my track.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. It's okay. But but they were very helpful. They would help. The only problem I had, it was me. We had the boys. It was Alex and Zach and Cindy. And Cindy's claustrophobic. We get on this subway, and it's one of those things where if it's crowded, they just push. Yeah. They just push. And I'm kind of holding my ground. And this guy kind of shoved. I turned around and looked at him like I was ready to punch him.
Wow.
And he kind of looked at me like, "This is what we do here, buddy."
Yeah.
And I go, and I'm trying to keep a thing. And other than that, I mean, it's like, okay, I don't like the pushing and shoving to get on the train because it's like because some people don't get on. They just don't. They can't because there's no room, and we're like,
Yeah.
that only happened like once or twice.
Yeah,
Oh.
fuck that.
In my experience, though, the U.S. is the only culture that's like that, where we actually kind of give each other a little space in a subway or a bus or anything else. Everywhere else, it's just like get in. And
Well, one thing I've learned about Europe is lines are just like a suggestion. You can wait. You can wait in line, and because it's like, okay, this is just the way it is. I mean, there's pushing and shoving. But other than that, it was a great experience. I'm glad I went.
How were the accommodations where you stayed?
We stayed at a Disney resort, and because Cindy's like a hotel snob,
Oh, man.
and the first
Yeah.
night we stayed there, it was like, all right, this place has holes in the carpet. It's kind of dingy and dirty, and I was like, so we went downstairs. And they said, and this took forever because the language barrier. She's on her phone, we're on our phone, we're going back and forth. So we had to wait till the next day to get. Personally, I don't care. I'm going to sleep anywhere. But Cindy, I agree with you, Cindy. It was old and outdated. The shower was like, it was like okay.
They sent you to the East Wing where it was just kind of like,
yeah. And Jay goes, we're on the 7th floor. It's
old-
nice. So we go, can we get on the 7th floor? So the next day we got on the 7th floor, which is the.
we got the better room, and it's cheaper
Yeah,
than yours.
we got better meat and we got better room. So it wasn't bad. I mean, for it. But the problem was we thought we were at a Disney resort, and their website said we would get in Disneyland early, and it turns out we didn't. So it was like, okay, this is bullshit.
Okay.
Because if you go into Tokyo Disney is not that big a deal. I don't think people care about that. Disney
Gotcha.
Sea, SE, like sea and the river, like the ocean.
Yeah.
That's a big deal. It took us like 45 minutes just to get through security.
Wow.
And then once you get in, you can't book you have to pay. It's $55 to get your pass for Disneyland. Well, that's misleading because you have to pay to get on a ride. It's like, if you want to wait for a ride, it's like 2.5 hours easily for any ride. You have to get an express pass or whatever they call it, something else, which could be like 23, 24, whatever it is, dollars. Cindy wanted to go on Beauty and the Beast. Everybody wants to go on Beauty and the Beast. So if you don't get in, so people camp out like at 3:00 in the morning to get in by 8:45 so they can book the Beauty and the Beast ride. So once we got in, and then Jay and I, we got separated. Well, they ditched us, but we got separated, and we actually got in the park first, but since we didn't book it right away, we never got on the ride. We went on 4 rides the whole time, and we had to pay for each ride. Because it was, I said, okay, I hate Disney Sea. This place sucks. But I will say this: the Peter Pan ride. Have you ever been to Disneyland or Disney World?
Yeah, I mean the
Peter Pan ride,
fly over the thing.
Yeah, this ride was amazing. It's all I don't want to say CGI, but it's like all 3D and all that. It was pretty amazing. And in Disneyland, Tokyo Disney, the Beauty and the Beast ride, not Beauty and the Beast, Beauty and the Beast. No, I was saying the Frozen ride was the one that everybody in Disney Sea wants to go for. But Beauty and the Beast was pretty, the technology and how they do it is pretty fucking amazing. So, yeah. But overall, I by 5:30, Cindy and I were done. So, and Zach was sick. So Colleen came in like at 6:00. I guess after that, everything was empty. Everybody emptied out of the park, and they just went on ride. So, it was fun. I'm glad I went because we've been to every Disney park except now
China.
France. Oh, China! I didn't know China had one.
I've been to Paris Disney.
Okay.
Yeah.
Been with my Lexus, but yeah. So I would say I would make a special trip unless you're a really big Disney fan and want to eliminate all the things, but. Yeah, it's an interesting place. I mean, Tokyo. I was like, okay, this is Tokyo. Like it didn't really wasn't like, oh my god, this is such a beautiful city.
Yeah.
Did you know how Lexus got its name?
I don't know.
So Toyota was looking for a way to have a luxury export to go to the U.S.
Oh, luxury U.S.
Luxury export. U.S. is how
How
Lexus
it
got its name.
Really? Wow.
Yep.
Wow. I feel special now
Yeah,
You know how Nome, Alaska got its name?
Nice point.
I do not.
because no one wanted to go there.
Because the guy that was making the map knew that there was a city up there, but didn't know the name. So he wrote name, but the guy who read it thought it said Nome. Instead of name.
Well, that's how
That's
that's like Ellis Island. That's how why so many different like. I'm sure my name has so many different spellings. I mean, it's just because the people didn't know
Same.
how to. They didn't know how to write. You know, they didn't know how to write. So it's like Glatfelton.
Right. Or you get
Because-
somebody that's like writing it down and they don't take the time to put down the extra consonant.
Because
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, my name is from a city in Switzerland called Glatfelton,
Mhm.
but my name is not
Hmm.
spelled that way. But that's
Right.
They
whoever
gave you your name.
Yeah, or there's a lot of Gladfelters or Gladfelters. We're all basically related, but it's
Well,
spelled
and sometimes when I was doing a lot of ancestry stuff there and I was looking at records, you'd see where a spelling might change a little bit by a census taker.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like it ever so slightly, like a letter might disappear or just change, and you're like, huh. So the census taker, or like in that conversation when
They just
were
don't
visited,
care.
like,
Well, it's
or
illiteracy.
the
Poor
Yeah.
penmanship.
Poor penmanship.
Right.
There's so many. Like,
Right.
I remember, I didn't realize because I didn't know many people named Jesse growing up that Jesse, Jesse, is
I'll
the
be
male
honest with you.
spelling, and
I
then
knew someone that-
Jessie is the girl spelling. And I actually wrote a guy's name with the I, and he got so pissed at me. I was like, it's an honest mistake. Like,
I knew
Easy
a guy
fella.
named Jesse. I knew a guy named Jesse, and I felt bad because I had a crush on his girlfriend.
Oh, I knew that was going to get in there somewhere.
Yep. So it's been a couple of weeks since we've all spoken, and I do feel
Yeah.
like everyone has
So-
caught up on a couple different shows. Shorzy, thoughts?
I've not watched Shorzy because I couldn't watch it in Japan. I could only watch Apple shows. Apple was the only one I could get.
God,
But Shorzy,
your balls a tug.
what me do? It wouldn't work. I love Shorzy. I mean, I don't think you were here the week I was here.
No, I was not. Yeah,
And talked about it's such a good. It's a legitimate hockey story.
yes,
That's how hockey is. And I was saying the week you were gone, I go, you can hate the fucking person on your team, but if they get in a scrap,
it's your boy.
it's your boy. I mean, suddenly I go, okay, I hate this fucker.
Yeah,
But he's wearing my same sweater. I
Yep.
my same jersey. Seriously, I would protect, it's
that's the
such
culture, man.
It's
Well,
such a great show, and it's because it's true. It's true. It's true to the sport.
What season were you at, or are you at?
I'm in season 2, I think.
Oh, you got a lot to go.
Yeah, I powered through season 1 pretty fast.
Yeah,
And I started season 2, then we left. And I said, I'll just watch it over there.
yeah.
And I couldn't get the damn.
And you
thing to work.
didn't download any
I didn't.
show
I
on
was
your-
stupid. I didn't download.
Yeah, we didn't say it. You did,
Always,
but
always pre-download.
I was, but Apple. It's funny. Apple. I was able to watch without a problem. But it's funny when I was over there, the time difference. I was in bed like by 9:30.
yeah.
I don't know if it's from all the walking or I slept late there.
Well, that's good.
Well, I started watching. Jack, sorry about this in advance. Started watching Andor, the new season.
Oh, yeah.
I was
Um,
there. I was at the Japan during the.
We
Star
were
Wars.
talking about it right before
Right
Nick
before.
and I. Just a
all
little
right.
bit. Just a tiny bit. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna give my hot take.
Okay.
It's like half good,
Okay.
and what I mean about that,
That's not
is
an
that-
overwhelming.
no, I'm actually fucking annoyed with it, to be honest with you.
Wow.
The amount of times I had to rewatch episode 2 and 3 was atrocious.
Yeah.
Why'd you
like-
have to rewatch it?
Because personally, for those who watched the first 3 episodes of Andor have released on Disney Plus, and it will be a weekly release schedule moving forward. But there's a couple different, as with any show, there's a couple different storylines and perspectives and groups of characters. And I will say the stuff with Andor, Cassian, the lead character, phenomenal. Like getting to see him hijack a TIE interceptor.
Mhm.
Well, it's an
prototype?
experimental.
The prototype, yeah, that was.
Yeah, it's not real.
Well, it's the one that what's his name was building in the
No,
book
it's not,
there.
it's not a TIE Defender.
No, okay,
but, But it is physically built though.
Geeks.
Yeah, they're doing three episodes.
Oh yeah, that thing
of-
smacked
is it?
around the entire hangar bay and like didn't have a scratch on it. You're like,
It
what
was
the
funny.
hell?
Like some of that shit was funny.
That whole,
The whole Chandrilla
opening.
fucking wedding was so stupid.
It's
like
cringe. Yeah.
that whole like portion of like the storyline. I was like, I don't fucking care about this.
Exactly.
Like I don't want to watch this shit.
this
um,
was Nick's
I-
grade.
I- I'm right
was
with
it?
you.
Oh,
So you
yeah.
guys can, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, this
So
is
go-
so fucking stupid.
go
Like,
ahead
just
and-
move
Is this
on
what
from
Nick was
this.
Fight
talking
amongst
about before we came
yourselves.
on?
Fight amongst yourselves, rebels.
Well,
I'm
we
going to
weren't.
be up here.
Yeah, we weren't. I mean, Matt made a very valid point, which I loved. It's one of the good things about Matt.
Thank you.
Matt
thank
tends
you.
to be a counter to my,
Sure.
Your
Sometimes-
negativity.
Sometimes.
and I'll. Okay, so when Matt and I started before we hit record, I said, "Look, Matt, I'll be honest, I didn't like episodes 1 through 3, and I was like, I didn't also like episodes 1 through 3 of season 1, but
Fair.
it got good after that, and I said that, once the story got going, I was fine with it. This, I agree. I thought it started off awesome with him stealing.
Mhm.
And then I was like, okay, and then the crash, and I'm trying to stay on non-spoilers as I can. But the whole time he's on the planet, I was like, what is this really serving? Like, what is
why
it
is that happening? Like,
yeah, exactly.
why,
Why is this
Yeah.
happening? And then Matt said, well, think about it this way. The duality of these rebels on that planet and then the rebels that are in the upper society class, they're showing both of these parts of the rebellion in disarray, unorganized,
And fighting amongst themselves.
amongst themselves. I was like, okay,
Fair.
so that's a good valid point. But it's
mass hysteria?
mass hysteria. Yeah,
I love that. I
but
love
then,
that.
yeah, I agree. Like 90s techno wedding. I was like, what the fuck? Is this?
Man?
Yeah.
Like,
I
so
do-
fucking annoying.
So are you guys saying we should watch it? I mean, it's hard to tell from this description if we should watch it or
I'm gonna
to
still
fuck
keep
it.
watching it.
I'm
I'm
excited about it.
because
still-
Andor
I'm
season
still
one
excited.
was a fucking was amazing. Like, yeah, I love.
But it did have some slow burn moments. Even going into this, I was rewatching Andor 1, and there's some slow beats, and I want to like shine a little
What
light
about
on
Andor
like, some of
2?
the slower beats that I really did enjoy, and the sets and how everything's just so realistic. Like, they built this tie, right? Like you see the physicality of this tie. It's not CGI. It's like
right.
yeah, it's like it's fully
It's
immersible.
like
and
yeah, okay, yeah.
and you have these sets where they're just lived in mud, dirty, dingy, but then we also have like the pristine Coruscant apartment, like
I like croissants.
and that weird scene with the mom.
Yeah, what the fuck? That was so weird. Like,
Okay, hold on a second.
unnecessary.
I gotta know what you're talking about.
But
So
So she's like with like Yoda or something.
I
She's like-
really
No,
like
Yoda?
there's these two
two characters.
imperial officers
Mhm.
that introduced season 1, and they're
It's
kind
like-
of they have kind of
it's
like
like-
an
They're
alliance.
basically the
relationship
Dwight
kind
and
of thing.
Angela of this show.
Yeah, that's a good yeah. And
Good
they,
looking, good looking Angela or ugly uptight
No.
Angela? Because there's like
Ugly.
she
like
does
like
change.
the ha kind of
Okay, ugly uptight Angela. I
Yeah,
don't mean ugly. She uptight Angela, I should say.
yeah,
Because she
but,
does get it.
Alright.
She does change. She gets really hot towards the end.
So you definitely get the feeling, even in the first episode of season 1, that the male of this duo definitely is anal retentive from his mother.
Oh,
Or
yeah.
so- and so the mother gets invited over for dinner, and it's just this weird chess play between her and the daughter or the love interest or and you're like, what the fuck is this?
Like, why? Like,
feel-
why am
I-
I dealing with this? Like, why am I? And then it cuts to
Sure.
the fucking techno wedding, and I'm just like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I don't know. It just, but to your point, Matt, that does make sense. It's showing like the ends of the spectrum of the rebellion and how it's in disarray. I get it, but like, okay, like move the fuck on. Like let's get past this.
I kept thinking like this whole episode could have been an email. Like it's just that's the feeling I got from it. It's like this could have been compressed to one episode instead of having
it kind of reminded me about how I felt in that episode of was it The Mandalorian? I think it was with the with Lizzo and Jack Black. Like,
that was terrible.
I was like,
really? I don't feel like this is on the same level as that. But okay.
Okay. Well, those came out.
I get it. There's not much. The amount of money that they've spent on the sets and all of the stuff. Maybe they've just beefed this out. The second episode does feel like it could have been split into the first and to the third, and so that this could have just been a 2-episode arc.
Yeah,
getting to this. I don't know how much time we needed to spend.
This is
the Mothma States with
the beginning of the second
and last.
I just fast forward to Mon getting hammered. By the way, you're just ripping shots of fucking, cerulean or wherever the fuck she's from, Chandrillian fucking cognac, or whatever the fuck it was. But and then her banging some other dude and having her husband be totally fine with it, totally weird.
Wait, what?
We did get a serious rapey scene.
In
the third
that's
episode.
got a lot.
Game of Thrones.
That's what was weird about it, is that it's not really a rape; it's a sexual assault scene because it's still Disney.
Sure.
Like they're not gonna
right. But she said rape though. Like she actually said rape.
Yeah.
Right.
So
I mean,
what's interesting about
stalker, go ahead.
What's interesting about that sequence of scenes on the whatever planet that is that they're on, and they're harvesting grain.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was very reminiscent of what's his name from Inglourious Bastards, right?
So yeah.
Which added a little bit of suspense to it about how they're going to be hiding people. So that was interesting.
Yeah.
And there were some interesting parallels too, right? He's like, I know the work that has to be done. I know you're undocumented. I know that has to happen, but this is what the real deal is. It's like, okay, like that type of shit was like, that was pretty heavy, right? But it was very relatable, I guess you could say.
Topical,
at the same time.
Evergreen,
But yeah, I just think the Chandrilla stuff, I'm just like so over it.
Chandrilla, okay.
Yeah, Chandrilla. That's where Mon Mothma's from.
Oh,
and like I'm just over that whole they should have kept that to like an act of an episode, and focused more on the actual meat and bone, the meat and potatoes of the whole thing.
That's what I even said to Matt too. That sometimes I don't feel that the show is appropriately titled, because if you're gonna make a show about Andor, make it about Andor. Instead, this is more about it should be called like Spark of Rebellion or something else, because it's too many other elements of how the rebellion is being formed. Andor what?
I have a comment. You guys, do you think that Disney is just putting out too much Star Wars stuff? Because you guys seem, I mean, I listen to you guys complain and talk about it. Is there too much? Is there too much Star? It's just like it's oversaturated. It's like okay,
there hasn't been for a while.
But I'm saying is you have this. You had the Mandalorian. You had what was the one with the bounty hunter? I'm drawing
Book of Boba Fett. Yeah, but here's the thing, Jack.
Is it too? Because it used to be Star Wars was special.
Yes,
you got an episode. You was like, oh my! And Mandalorian. I haven't finished the final season, but it was like. It was special. It was like, oh, Star Wars episodes, even the bad ones, the movies,
were
still worth watching.
Right.
I think the big difference here with this particular series, and I've said this before, and I think the reason why I like Andor so much is that it literally only has to live up to one expectation. Right. There's one thing that this show has to land on, and it has to land on Cassian Andor meeting what's her name in the alley from Rogue One, right? So like that, like he's introduced in Rogue One, and he meets what's her name, Jyn Erso in the alleyway as they're trying to transfer the plans of the Death Star, right? Like that's its only expectation of what it has to do. Everything else, it's creating, right? So like I mean, I say that I'm not sure if there's any of the prior books and such that I'm not necessarily in tune with how Mon Mothma came to rise to power of leading the rebellion and all that type of stuff, and obviously like the whole hierarchy of like the Coruscant and how that people in power had all this influence or whatever. But the thing I like about Andor the most is it's its own shit, right? There's no like, let's squeeze in this fucking sellable plush toy to make the story because everyone's gonna think it's cute. No, it's like dingy, dirty, like espionage type shit that is its own story, and that's what I really like about it. I just feel like over the last 3 episodes, they're really trying to create like this very vast network of people, and which I get it, I understand it. And what's interesting about this season, I read somewhere that this season of Andor is going to take place over the span of like multiple years, right?
Yeah.
So this, I think it's like 4 to 6 years is gonna transpire through this season. So it's like, man, you got a lot of shit to get through.
Right.
But
let's not be wasting our time here.
And Matt, you said it's only 2 seasons.
But I'm wondering too, like if it's it's just this season is the last season, Jack. So it's like, but there's 12 episodes broken into three episodes a piece that are going to be dropping. So perhaps this is because it said BBY 4, we're going to jump forward to BBY 3, and then we can see the daughter and this son and their marriage progress. We can see these characters just kind of slightly down the field.
Apparently, we're going to get
location.
Admiral Akbar too. Oh no, that's in Ahsoka.
I understand, Nick, Chris, what you're saying. Like, okay, we better get to these things. Like, why are we wasting time with some of this other stuff? But perhaps there's some. I'm not sure how we're ever gonna have her and the rave scene come back around poetically,
right?
But I'm also okay with the weird mother-in-law smoker.
If you remember, if you remember what 2 years ago,
I like that weird stuff.
Well, like I said,
it is more real and lived in. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Like as you guys know, my always issue is with plot. And if you introduce any part of a story and you don't resolve it, what was the point? And if you remember back when season 1 dropped, my issue was episodes 1 and 2 or whatever it was the whole beginning of that was he was looking for his sister. And I said, well, if this doesn't go anywhere, then what was the fucking point? And we still have, since then, nothing has come about with that. And you're like, well, why did you waste our time with this flashback to him being a kid on this planet, being separated from his sister? Unless all of a sudden this comes back around at the very end of this season. And so as I'm saying, like, that's my issue a lot of times with certain stories in Star Wars. It's like you kind of introduce something and you don't go anywhere with it just to fill time. And if you guys, to answer Jack's question from my point of view about, there's never too much Star Wars. I think with the issue, the issue.
But yet you complain.
Yeah, but I think that will hopefully start to narrow down, because I think one of the major issues with the last decade of Star Wars is that you didn't have one person guiding where we want to go with Star Wars. It seemed more like, oh, you have a good Star Wars idea, Jack? Here's $10 million. Matt, you have a good Star Wars idea? Here's $2 million. And either they don't.
Wait, Matt's getting the same amount as me?
Yeah.
Oh, that's bullshit.
And to me, and to a lot of people, Star Wars is ultimately a fantasy story based around mythology, and it's really just trying to, show how good always triumphs over evil in a way. And it should be a very simple story. And sometimes when they deviate from those things, like let's just say the rape scene or the sexual assault scene that Matt mentioned earlier, that's even gotten some pushback. And it didn't really bother me that much, but I understood why, because Star Wars has always been a little bit of nuance in that you understand what's implied, but you don't necessarily have to show it. Like when the door slams on Leia, you know that she's being tortured, but you don't see it. And it's one of those things where it's like, you could have done that scene very differently to kind of stay within the way Star Wars naturally feels.
Kind of like Game of Thrones, where they had to. We already knew he was a bad guy, right? When they,
right.
when the rape
Jamie?
scene.
Ramsey. Yeah,
Ramsey. We already knew he was a bad guy.
Yeah, that was weird.
I mean, I knew why I knew why they were trying to do it, but we
well, it's because in the books that rape scene actually happened, but everything up into that point had not happened in the books, and so to a lot of people who had never read them, it was like, this is overkill. You're already showing all this fucked up shit. We get it, and yeah, I mean that Game of Thrones went downhill anyway.
Speaking of Game of Thrones, it happened. We got a dire wolf before we got the final book.
True. I know. Go ahead, Matt.
One other thing about Andor, real quick, though, and in defense of the scene of her being attacked by this guy, like, she had basically a premonition dream about this, this attack, like we see the dream, sequence of somebody in her, and then going to grab her. So we see that. So is she force sensitive on some level, and we don't, or is it just there for kind of poetic purpose? So. I don't know.
I agree with Nick, though. It's like when she's being tortured, Leia, but we don't have to see it. It's the storytelling.
Sure,
I think better than.
I thought they did well with the scene. I'm not sure what.
Like I said, it didn't bother me.
I didn't watch it, so I don't know. But like I said, sure. I watched Jaws in the plane because it was free, so I watched Jaws in the plane.
But I mean, that's what I started to say. Also,
because you didn't download anything on your phone.
No, I did. I did download. I downloaded the whole first season of Justified. I downloaded the.
Oh, okay.
But did you do
all these movies? I did not. I did not. But I'm on the plane. I said, "Fuck it, I'll just watch some of these things." And I said, "I haven't seen Jaws in a while," and it's such a great fucking movie. And a lot of the suspenseful scenes, again, you don't see the shark.
That's what makes it good.
But that's what makes it good, because you don't need this, because the storytelling is so, and the way they film it, it's so fucking good. You get the opening scene with the woman; she's out there swimming in the, and the guy,
the submarine comes up out of nowhere,
and they say, Hollywood. Anyway, my favorite part in 1941 is.
Go ahead, Jack. I was just
my favorite part in 1941 is when they got the big radio and they're trying to shove it down. He goes, and the Japanese soldier or sailor goes, "We need to figure out a way to make these things smaller," because they're the ones that came up with the transistor radio. But anyway,
you know it's not smaller. The love that we get from our sponsors. So I started watching some movies because I was kind of getting a little
movies,
worn down from watching shows and getting through all this. So I watched the first 2.5 movies of The Equalizer with Denzel Washington. I don't know if you guys have ever seen those.
Yeah, the first
I've never seen those.
Fun as shit, man.
Yeah.
I actually dug those a lot. And then with the release of the new movie coming out, or it's out now, The Accountant with Ben Affleck.
2.
I never, The Accountant 2. Yeah, sorry, just got released with him and John Bernthal. I had never seen The Accountant 1, so I was like, yeah, fuck it, I'll give it a shot.
Yeah.
Oh my god, like I loved that movie. I thought that was incredible. And if anybody hasn't seen The Accountant, typically Ben Affleck gets a bad rap for his ability to act,
or lack of ability,
or lack thereof. I thought he did a phenomenal job in this movie.
Let's be honest, he's no Matt Damon.
No. So like the premise of this story is that he's an accountant for some pretty high level, bad people, like gun runners and mafia and so forth and so on. But when you're watching the movie, you find out pretty quickly he has autism, right? And so he grew up. Matt
Ben
Damon's
Affleck?
character. I'm sorry, Ben Affleck's character, who was the accountant. And it's really interesting. I thought they did a really, really cool job of like depicting what his perspectives were, through his through his condition of being on the spectrum, and how he kind of how he goes through his like
This is a
what
movie.
he does. Yeah,
Accountant?
it's really good. So like the I don't want to give too much of the background because they do a really nice job of kind of showing how he came to be and why he specializes in the things that he does through storytelling and his upbringing. But I went into that movie with little to no expectations about what I was going to think about it. I thought it was just going to be like a cheesy action movie or whatever. But I was actually blown away. Like that movie was really, really good. And I'm excited to see the sequel. The thing I really loved about, that as well as it kind of paralleled when I was watching the Denzel movies, Equalizer. It has this very similar tone in how they conclude the stories, and it's like it leaves things right. It just kind of you don't get that finality in a lot of the storylines. There's a lot of stuff that's kind of left open, which I thought they did it in a way that just it actually lent really well to how they decided to share the story. If you haven't seen it yet, I recommend watching it.
I will put it on my list. We bashed Ben Affleck for his acting ability, but he did look like he was happy. He did look like he was happy a long time with Jennifer Lopez. He did a good job acting.
That man was miserable.
Yeah, he did look for a while there. He looked like he was happy.
Yeah,
because she looks like she's a tough person to be married to.
Oh,
I'm just she's very attractive and stuff, but I don't know. She just seems like a rough one.
Yeah, okay, I guess.
I mean, they both probably have their own issues. I mean,
I'm just saying,
Ben has struggled through alcoholism and other things.
Yeah, I get it, but she seems like she's a tough one too.
Oh, no doubt. I went to the show or to the movies yesterday, and I watched a very interesting movie, and it's called Warfare, and it's only like 90 minutes.
It's a weird
long.
name. That's a weird name for a porno.
Yeah, isn't it? Well, you don't know about these warriors, man. I'm telling you.
Well, sometimes you get torpedoed.
Yeah,
it can be rough.
What's his name? Same guy that did like Ex Machina and Civil War last year. He directed it.
Oh.
Alex
Smith.
Anyway, it's based on a true story, and this is not necessarily a movie. It's more like in the same realm of Dunkirk, in that it's more of an experience of warfare than it is an actual movie. And warfare, nice. Yeah. And so it's based on a true story of this group of or squad of Navy SEALs in Iraq in 2006. And I like it in that you feel like you're part of the squad, in that you never see the enemy from their point of view, or you're in this house with the troops.
I've seen previews for this.
And it's a lot of fuck moments, in that you're not expecting when a round comes through the house or a bomb goes off or anything else. And it's more of I would put it more of an anti-war film, because I don't think anyone's leaving that film going, yeah, sign me up, buddy. It's not.
Well, that's a lot of movies and TV shows.
Yeah.
Nowadays.
But what was I going to say? Oh, and then like one of the things I found really interesting about it is that at one point an IED goes off, and the people that survive it, from that point on, their characters, when you're kind of seeing it from what they're experiencing, they're all concussed because of the bomb going. So you see how it affects the way they're thinking, the way their hearing is, like everything about it, you're like, fuck. And so that's probably the closest I've ever seen in a cinema what it's like to actually experience war. I mean, like it's not something you're going to watch over and over again, but it's something you should watch at least once.
All right, I'll put that on my list. That's where war movies have changed. Like we've talked about this before, where they've changed, since Platoon probably.
Yeah.
Whereas it's, used to be Audie Murphy, where it's glorified. War of John Wayne, let's take that. A whole thing where it's, you have Saving Private Ryan. You have like I said, Platoon and these movies, it was like going, why would anyone want to go to war? It's a brutal. It's like I still remember someone on Twitter saying, "You're pro-war. You're watching Band of Brothers." I go, "You've never seen it. There's no way you can watch that 10-part miniseries and come away with it going, I want to go to war.
Right.
I want to fight. There's no way."
Well, it's one of those things where.
Well, Star Wars is about war, right? It's got war in the name.
If they should have Star Wars, please let these
better
Star
than
Wars.
Car Wars.
But it's things like
We've lost Chris.
No, I'm here.
Chris.
I'm
okay.
experimenting
well,
with something.
imagine you're 22, 21 years old.
I can't remember. Wait, hold on a second. That was 41 years ago. Let me try to remember that.
Right. Well, I mean,
can't.
My legs.
Oh, wait, I was
hurt.
happy.
Yeah.
Okay, go
well,
ahead.
I mean, you barely know your
had
ass
hair.
from your elbow, and you're in there with a group of 10 other guys, same age as you are.
I had names for my ass and my elbow. So
And I don't know, because it makes you. I can feel the paranoia. There's so many emotions that that you can kind of. Because imagine like you've got a dozen or more people shooting at around, and you're trying to like stop some guy from bleeding, and some guy who's supposed to be watching your back because he's got a concussion is just standing there like a zombie, and you're freaking out because you're trying to save one guy's life, and you have no idea if this other guy is there to protect you or not. And so there's a lot of things that you could be thinking about while watching this, going like, "Fuck!"
Well, you can't have one weak link either. I mean, you have to have. I mean, if you do, you're dead.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I like how you
got
can change your name on there now.
Oh, it's the follow along. Wow.
Fuck off.
Fuck off. What the hell?
Wait, did you name yourself Big Sexy, Nick?
Yeah, fucker.
Okay. You can name yourself whatever you want. You can name yourself
he
whatever.
gave himself the bird from Jersey.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh.
I did that last week, and then I figured nobody had noticed, but yeah.
Sure, I got one thing about Shorzy. I've never been in a hockey locker room, whether it's a ref or a player, and they passed out ice cream cones. Never. I kind of want a beer after the game. just saying. I mean, you can have ice cream. I get it's exciting, and you're a player of the game. You get the ice cream, but maybe it's a Canadian thing. I don't know, but yeah, give me a nice beer, and I'm cool.
Yeah.
Just saying.
You'll like it, like Jack, because the first 3 seasons are an arc, and then you have the 4th season is the latest one, and that's the beginning of a new arc.
From Newark, New Jersey,
a new arc story.
Oh, new arc. I'm sorry, I thought they were in New Jersey.
And Chris and I talked about this a couple weeks back. Is that you have a completion through those first 3 seasons in a way, and then we're starting a new.
And everybody likes that.
Well, it's. I mean, I like it. Like the fourth
Everybody goes home happy.
The 4th season took me a little while to warm up to, but I got to where I liked it. It's not what the first 3 seasons are, but it's not bad.
Sorry.
It's just
Well, like I said a couple weeks ago, when Chris said it's not a show you can have background, you have to pay attention to because there's so much going on. Shorzy is blah 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 blah. He's talking. There's side things going on, and the way they film it too. You got the owner of the team, and you got the 2 girls next to him, and he goes, "Well, you're the hot one." She's it's just the different insults and like when he's reffing. I've actually done that where I'm sitting on the thing. It's a boring game, and I've actually sat there reffing, going, insulting the just go give and take back with the players and stuff like that. Ones that have a sense of humor.
I mean, there's definitely things I know that I'll probably from now on will always say after someone says something. It's kind of like whenever Chris says, "To be fair," to be fair,
Yeah.
huh?
To be fair,
And like, so I know from now on, if anyone ever says "fuck you," I'm going to go, "For what?"
For what? Or the first season, it's "fuck you." What's the coach's name now? The "fuck you." Shut the fuck up.
The native Canadian kid.
Yeah. Who gets all the women?
Who's not in the season?
He's not in season 4. I was going to mention that. I thought that was weird that he was not in season 4.
Spoiler alert!
Well, he's just not there. You're like, well, where the fuck is he? And you wonder if he just didn't have time, or maybe they just didn't have something for his character to do. Or,
He's got a good. He's good
He's
coach.
a good kid.
Good
He's
kid.
a good kid.
And Shorzy is. It's funny. Is you start out like going, this guy's just a dick, but then you start liking him.
Yeah, wait
exactly.
till you get to next season 4. You're gonna fall in love with. You'll have a man crush on him.
Right.
Well, I have a man crush on him now because he's got the. He's a typical hockey player. It's hockey. It's not that it's not you hate to lose.
What?
No, it's not that you. Yeah. Oh fuck.
It's like what he's saying is absolutely true. It's not you.
I don't care about winning. I hate losing.
I don't care about winning. I hate to lose, and that's a hockey mentality. It's just every beer league. That's why you have so many fights in beer leagues because people are drinking beer, and then because I used to say reffing the adult games, I used to hate doing the last 2 or 3. It'd be like 11 o'clock games. I was like, all right, these guys have been drinking all fucking day. They come here, they're drunk. They get in the locker room, they're drinking. So by the time they get on the ice, they're fucking shit faced, and you're like going, yeah, exactly. You're like going, Jesus Christ.
Day beers are unbelievable.
What? Day
beers are unbelievable.
Makes me think of Shandy when she liked.
That's my favorite character. He's like,
oh right.
Day beers, they're unbelievable.
Yeah, it was. I hated reffing. I go, I don't want to ref these games. They're gonna be fucking drunk. They're gonna be cussing at me the whole fucking time.
Oh, that's right. That's in 4 seasons, so you haven't seen that yet. The Tims and the trial, the locker room trial, and all that. You know.
I like what's the 3 guys' names, but they had the same name.
Gyms.
Tim. That's what I just said. Yeah, the gyms. The gyms. Tims. Yeah.
I love the gyms.
Yeah.
Can we change your names? No, I'm Jim. I'm Jim.
All right, boys. I like him. What's the Newfie? The guy from Newfoundland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
the boys are going to be playing some hockey with the boys. Yeah.
I like the gyms. And the bird. The bird that says
Big Sexy.
Yeah. Big Sexy. Yeah, that's who you are. Okay.
That's why when you said Big Sexy, I went, yeah, fucker.
Yeah, fucker. Okay, yeah, fucker. Yeah,
such a good show, man. Such a good show.
I'm glad Nick recommended it because
me too.
I enjoy watching it.
Well, I like finding those random things. Yeah.
Have you watched it yet, Chris?
No, yeah.
You should watch it. It's fun.
I should probably check it out.
To change the subject, so Matt can kind of get involved here a little bit.
Star Wars, but
well, no, we lost Val Kilmer a few weeks back, and this past weekend, I wanted to watch a Val Kilmer movie that I had not watched in a while, and so I was trying to think of one, and I watched Heat, which I probably had not watched in 20 years.
I haven't seen that movie since I got it on DVD.
Is he in Heat?
Yeah, he's not the main character, but he's in.
Did you just buy it on DVD and you're like, I'm good, I got it?
Yep. That movie is so fucking good. And that's what's crazy is like watching it, when you're in your early 20s, or when I know it came out in 95, but I probably didn't watch it till like 2001, 2002 or something. That movie is not about cops and robbers. It's as watching it as an adult and you see like what the movie is really about. You're like, wow, like it's about how every single main character in that movie has the exact same sickness and that they're addicted to their job, that they will sacrifice every element of their life to do that one thing. And so even though the cop or Al Pacino's character is a cop and technically he's on the right side.
Val Kilmer's in Heat?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Really? Wow.
Okay. That's like one of his breakout roles.
No, it's 95.
He's
already Jim Morrison and Tombstone and all that before that.
Oh, that's right.
Iceman.
I'll be a Huckleberry.
Yeah. Willow.
Man.
Because we talked about that, didn't we? Last time Chris was on about the Quentin Tarantino's argument about what it's really about. But if you guys have not watched Heat in a while, watch it. It's such a good movie. It's a little long. It's 2 hours and 15 minutes.
It came out for me.
They've officially greenlit the Goonies sequel.
Oh,
cool.
That happened the other day.
Goonies.
I don't know how I'm kind of indifferent about that.
It's called gummies.
Well,
I
it's
don't know.
one-
I don't know
it's-
if you should. I haven't seen Goonies in forever, but
I'm always skeptical with
Favorite movie
anything
of
where
all
it
time.
takes that long to do. Because like, what are they going to do? They're going to have like them as cameos as adults, and like it's about their kids being the new Goonies, and then you're like,
Yeah,
not what I
don't like
fucking want. I want to watch my
No.
Goonies. You know?
Yeah, my Goonies. I've said this before. Goonies is my favorite movie of all time.
Take these child actors from '85, recreate them, and then have Goonies 2 with just these child actors.
I'm
It's all
still waiting
just
for Stranger
CGI.
Things. I mean, these people are like in their 90s.
I've
Mm.
forgotten, and I don't care about Stranger Things anymore.
I don't.
It's
yeah,
got to be
they-
done
they-
filming, right?
They had to be done with it, but it's one of those that they took way too long.
Yeah,
To do it. People lost interest because season 1 is great, and then it just kind of slowly went down.
Because again, I'll say I hate to be mean, but there's no
Yeah.
way 11 is hooking up with what's his name anymore.
No.
She's
Oh,
outclassed.
she's a Bon Jovi now.
She outclassed him. I mean, there's
That's
no way. There's no way she's going to settle for Finn.
a Ghostbuster. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no way. There's no way.
Yeah, I mean, I still watch. The thing is about the last season, I don't know where they can go with it past because the last season was a very good wrap up of like showing who kind of did the upside down world and who was the main guy in it. It's like where do you go from there? Because you kind of defeated him. He's not dead, but it's like there's no you've let the surprise drop. You know, so like
where do we go from here now that all the children have grown up?
It's kind of like if you took the helmet off Vader and somehow he lived past Return of the Jedi. But yet he's still Vader. I'm like, I'm not scared of you anymore. The helmet's off. Like I'm not. Yeah.
In the comics they did a version where he survived and he became White Vader.
Oh.
Yeah.
What's the name?
Well, they made an action figure.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Like he's all white. He's like a good.
I was going to say he's already all white.
He's like
especially
a
with
good
that
Vader
helmet
now,
on all that
basically.
time. He's really white because he's got no.
And then if you buy the dark Millennium Falcon, there's a white Vader in there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is there? Wow.
That's because it's
Somehow Anakin returned. That's right.
That's because
you guys
it's
would have
based
loved
off
to have been in
of
Japan because there was a lot of people on the subway dressed as Star Wars characters.
I bet. Yeah. I mean, Celebration was happening there.
Yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
know, but Jay
Right.
went with Colleen and the boys.
I mean, Celebration was. I only went to the 2015 one in Anaheim. It was good. It was fun.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a good experience. At least everybody needs to do it once. You know, if you're a Star Wars fan.
For sure. Yeah. No, it's a fun time. Anyway, we could talk more and more, I'm sure, but we've got lives and things to get to. So
Speak for yourself.
I won't be here next week, by the way.
oh, what?
What the hell, Jack?
I'm going to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh.
Oh, okay.
So
That's-
I won't be here the week
that's
after.
punishment in itself. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Going to watch the
Um,
Padres play.
Wait, is it the week after? I won't be here the week of May 8th, 9th. Whatever that
That
is.
is the week after.
Same. That's when I'll be in Milan. So
We'll be
Damn.
in
So
Las Vegas.
just me and Matt.
It's going to be real choppy there for a while, guys. So next week we're recording
yep.
May the 1st. And then taking a break. Then we'll be back May the 15th, I guess.
Yeah, I'll be.
That
I'll
will
be
be my
here.
wife's
Probably.
birthday.
My wife's
Oh,
birthday is May
okay.
the 1st, so
Oh, nice.
I'll be.
Hey,
I'll be in
did-
Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I'm married.
Yeah,
ISIS.
Chris, I thought your son had a birthday recently, right?
Sorry.
Today.
Today.
Today?
Okay.
8 years old.
Yeah.
today. Or
Was he
6 years old.
7 now?
6.
6.
6 today.
Jesus
Yep.
Christ!
I knew our sons were Mine's was yesterday, so
Yeah.
Wow.
on the 23rd.
15.
It's crazy. 'Cause I
Yeah,
remember,
damn.
you
Look
know,
at you, Smokey.
I remember 6 years ago when we made the announcement. Yeah, it's like
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's wild, man. Yeah, it's crazy. So I actually, I know we're
First
wrapping up
grade.
the
He's
show,
first
but-
grade, right?
kindergarten.
Kindergarten.
So I know we're kind of wrapping up the show, but this past weekend I had my debut as a kindergarten level soccer coach.
Oh, nice. That must be fun.
Yeah, it's like herding cats.
Exactly.
That's all it is, really. I know we talked about that on the show last week about the qualifications you have to become a coach, which is actually kind of
Right.
incredible of how strenuous it was. No, but it was cool. I got to go and do my thing with them, and
You have to do a background check.
Oh yeah. It's Corey checks. You have to do all this stuff. And I know I mentioned it last week on the show, but Jack
Jack wasn't here. Yeah.
I'll give you like a little Cliff Notes version of it. But like the amount of training that you have to do for like abuse prevention was incredible. Like how to spot things and and report. So I'm a mandated reporter now for the state. So because working with kids, it was scary, but also oddly reassuring that any of these coaches have to go through the same training that I did.
It's amazing they sneak through because
Yeah.
I know when I was my last few years reffing, you had to take, not only do you have to take the ref, the rules and all that crap, you had to take a thing like 2-hour test on concussions and injuries and stuff like that. And then, which is funny because the first thing they tell you is you can't touch anybody that's laying on the ice. Don't touch anybody because we don't want you to get sued. We don't want USA Hockey to get sued. So I go, so why am I taking this? Anyway, but then they would do it. You had to do like a 2.5-hour test on, noticing, okay, is this coach being too close to this player and all this different stuff? Yet I'm not allowed in the locker rooms. So I'm like going, so we had to do a fingerprint test every year I said, I don't have to do this. They go, why? I go, I took the test about being a child molester. I'm not one. So I don't have to be, but that's literally you had to do. It's like you're saying, it's like this. It's scary that that's what you have to do nowadays.
Yeah, but oddly reassuring at the same time, right?
Yeah,
because that's it's like the level and the extent of what you have to do just to be a coach for these kids who are just running around and falling over soccer balls. You know what I mean?
But it's
balls half their size.
Yeah,
right.
Coaches willing to pick up the kid and take him home. You're like, that used to be a thing when I was a kid. Now it's like, if I'm a coach, there's no way I would do that.
Nope.
There's no way. I'm sorry, I can't do that.
You'll lose your position as a coach if you do that.
Yeah. So I can't. It used to be the norm when I was a kid. Coach would pick you up, take you home, and sure, you got home an hour late, but it's just like
So little man turned 6 today. My daughter turned 13 last month. Feeling a little bit old.
You're getting into that scary time.
Yeah. I've been there for a while now.
Yeah.
Did you ever see that? It's a short little video clip of basically the same age, and it's the coach of one of the soccer teams. He's right next to the goalie, and the coach is watching the other team, slowly kick the ball into the net, and the kid he has the goalie is just clearly just looking at the coach like, what? And then the coach just pushes him over to block the ball to go in. It's like, God.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why people are coaches and like even referees. I mean, it's so abusive.
Yeah, and granted, I'm also not coaching at a level in which abusiveness from the fans and parents is going to be apparent because it's
so you think
like these parents are literally just paying the town for us to babysit their kids while they kick a soccer ball.
Right.
But I will say though, I think I mentioned this last week or the week before, like one of my, like when I think back about growing up in my dad, like one of my best memories of my dad was the time that I got to spend with him as my baseball coach. And I know how much joy it brought him. And I think I took it for granted then, but I definitely reflected on it now being like, man, those were awesome, awesome times. And hearing Jackson talk about it is like worth every minute that I've spent on doing this, right? Because like, he's excited to talk about because he's playing baseball and he's playing soccer, coincidentally, both on Saturdays, which is a huge pain in the ass. But like whenever he talks about it to like our family or friends, he's like, yeah, and I've got Coach Daddy. Like, and it's just like, it's like, it's silly, but it's one of those things where he's already like, he's associating the fun that he has playing soccer, not just playing soccer, but playing soccer with me being his coach. And that's
nice.
There's something about that that's like,
really in baseball, is he doing coaching pitch first and then they hit off the tee?
Yeah, exactly.
Because I'm like going, because I didn't start when I was a kid. We didn't start playing until we were 8.
Yeah,
there was no tee-ball. It was like you go right to where pitchers are pitching, and like my grandson who's 5, and I go, oh, they're pitching to the kids now. And
Yeah.
I go, okay, well, it makes sense.
Kid's got an arm too, man. Like he's actually, it's pretty impressive to see how he's just kind of naturally picking up on some.
So
of
it takes
some of the
after your
sports.
wife.
Yeah, exactly. And what's interesting is he's like comparatively to all his his peers in his class or even on the field, he's smaller than a lot of the other kids. So he's that little scrappy little guy, but he's having a blast, man. He's having fun, and he's doing karate too. So we've got this kid involved in like everything.
So when the bench is clear, you're going to be behind Jackson, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm a black belt. Wow.
He's in a black belt school, but he is definitely not a black belt.
Oh, okay. In training.
He is a white belt.
A white belt.
Well, I'm sure, like, just even sharing in something that you shared with your father, or sharing it with your, it's just a nice reciprocal.
It really is. Like, it's really nice, and I know, getting the sappiness of parenting, right? And I'm talking about week after week about how I'm watching Lost with my daughter, and it's like that same.
Where are you at with that?
Why don't we find out after this commercial break?
I'm at a commercial. Oh, dude, you got me. I was going to say it.
Oh, shit.
Where am I with Lost? Still in season where we've slowed down tremendously. So we just watched the episode where it's where Juliet is introduced to the camp. As an ally, and it's revealed at the very end of the episode that was the plan of Juliet and Ben all along, was to infiltrate the beach camp. So,
I never trusted her. Go back and check the tapes.
Just Elizabeth Mitchell, man, the smoke show. You want to believe it?
She's a smoke show.
My God.
I didn't trust her.
So yeah.
Has anybody started Last of Us season 2?
I haven't started season 1 yet.
I tried, and I got fucking bored in the first
episode's garbage. Yeah,
I haven't seen it past that.
Second episode is really good, depending on if you're a video gamer or not, because episode 2, to not be spoilery, is either going to make you want to keep watching or you will stop watching altogether.
Okay.
But it is
accepted.
A good episode. Yeah.
I have been watching Righteous Gemstones. So caught up on that. So, and that's been fun. So, they're in their final season, and I can't. There was a flashback episode, and I really like the flashback episodes that they do on this show. So sometimes the show, it just goes there in areas where you're just like, I didn't need to see that, or I didn't want to see that, or I didn't, like the skiing sequence, or just other, but it does things in a humorous way.
Early
on. Yeah. So, but it has an earnestness to it at times that I really enjoy. So
I like Righteous Gemstones. It is a good show. It's got its moments that are really good, and some things like because I just can't stand corny singing, and so whenever I hear, like when they did the Mamas Here, like I had to fast forward.
Sure.
I don't know.
Yeah,
but I like the Righteous Gemstones.
It's its own thing. So.
Hey, you need to give me more money, because baby Billy gonna, just everything.
The part in the most recent episode where he comes asking for $2 million.
I know,
and part of the line budget is for cocaine.
Right. This is teen. What's he calls it? It's Teen Jesus, but it's changes. It's like
changes. Yeah, it's so funny.
Man, it's fucking gold, and I gotta have the. So this is Goggins.
Yeah,
Walter
Goggins
character.
Walton.
Baby Billy.
Walton. Yeah, Goggins. I mean, he is right now. He is at fucking
Raylan Givens.
His career right now. He's in fucking everything.
He's amazing. He's an amazing actor.
He is good.
Yeah.
There's a billboard in LA. Oh, yeah, Teen Just. Nice. Oh, I didn't know that, Matt. That's
Oh, huh. That's funny. Yeah. No, the whole Teen Just thing has been really pretty funny.
It
In
was
this,
just funny. So it's like, get your, I do fucking everything. It's like, I would be Teen Just. Now it's like, you're not a teenager. Well, fuck, it's called acting. Like it's just.
Oh, nice. And Matt Treist is saying he's hosting.
That'd be good.
SNL. So
He's hosting SNL.
5/10. So May the 10th.
I may watch SNL that week.
That's in a couple weeks. Yeah. So
He had one of those interviews recently where he was talking about that with his acting. Kind of like how I was talking about. I'm just forgetting everybody's names now, but the actor that played Tyrion Lannister. How actors can kind of get in their own heads for a while and they don't get roles because they're being picky or like, I don't want to do that role or whatever. And he was saying it's kind of the same thing as how I used to. He said, I got a role one time trying to be a character that I thought that the producers and the casting people wanted the character to be, and he goes, and that experience alone 100% changed the way I approached acting. He said, because I wasn't being true to what I would have done as the character. And he goes, and from that point on, I just went into every audition as like, this is how I see it. And this is what it's going to be. And if I get it, great. If I don't get it, then at least I'm honest with myself. And and it's just interesting to hear how creative people can be creative or come to their decisions on what they do. And I'm looking forward to Fallout Season 2 whenever that comes out.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that show.
Well, before we forget about the end of this show, let's just pull this puppy over. I don't know where Randy is. Randy, if you're out there, send us an email.
Randy's traveling.
Oh, okay. Or anybody else, you can send us an email at rcadcast@gmail.com.
Once again,
you can. Again?
RCAD. Whatever.
rcadcast@gmail.com.
Gmail.
Go over to Jay and Jack, become a patron, help us out in any way possible. But we'd like to thank a few patrons that make this show possible. And before I do that, thank you for everybody that showed up, guys. Sherry, Matt, Treist, anyone else that's watched. Yeah, thank you again for joining us live. You really do show up. Okay. But for those others that give financially to us, thank you, Maggie the Magnificent, Joanne with the Plan, Eckhart Richter, and Ed, the cool California letter carrier. Thanks for doing what you do. Doing?
He gave Cindy some tips on
on traveling in Japan. Yeah. Thank you, Ed.
Not me, but Cindy.
Oh yeah. I guess I control this monitor here. Thanks again, everyone. We'll be back next week on Thursday. Click like and subscribe and all of that jazz. So
maybe I'll jump in
next week.